What up everyone? Today we are reacting to the most isolated tribe on Earth, North Sentinel Island. I liked it, of course, because I know this is gonna be banger. Banger. But alright. So this, they're gonna explain it, but like this is like the um, the most dangerous island in the whole world, I think. No, not island, like dangerous on something like they have not been in contact with humans. They have, but they like have killed it. So first I want to talk about this. I'm not making it out of the hood, bro. I am not making it out of the hood. My videos are too shit. I don't know what I'm doing. So this is like 3 views, 1 view, 0, 3, 2. I don't know what the fuck I did that for, but 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. Like I ain't making it out of the hood. No part 2 has come out. I'm not making it out of the hood, boy. Fuck. 6 subscribers though. Can't complain. Alright, this is third one.
Tucked away.
40 minutes, so get started. But this picture, bro, I asked Chat GPT. No, what? I didn't. Wait.
Bengal exists a tiny island that has captured imaginations for centuries. But its beauty as a tropical paradise.
No, before we start, I don't want to edit this video. It takes too long, so I'm gonna do it right here and right now. Here is it. They say about 40, I think, no, like 35 to 200 lives here. But this is big. This is big. They say like 3 miles here, like a lot of people can fit here. Please, please, please. Bruh. And they have lived here for like, I don't know how many years, but like you can see here, there's like trails. They've walked so much. I think that is a person or it's just black prickle, or what the fuck it is called. Um, wait, you can see a boat here somewhere. Wait, I thought I saw it. I thought I saw it. It's supposed. Wait. No, I just saw this. Here. Here is. Here it is. Oh shit. As you can see, it disappeared, boy. Here. As you can see, here's like the fleet, the ship that crashed, and then they got rescued before those people living here got the chance to kill them, and then they went in and they scavenged the whole shit. It's not that these people don't know about like society now, like the modern technology. They know about it. It's confusing, of course, but they know about it. They choose to not live that way. Like they decline every shit they try to give them and everything. They like they just don't want to. That is quite cool, to be honest. This is the southern. Yeah. No one lives here, no? No. But I just thought that was quite cool. Let's go back into the video.
History of encounters with the Sentinelese, what we know about their way of life, and discuss the ethical and philosophical problems presented to us. Without further ado,
I've never seen that many in one single picture. What the fuck is bro holding? Like, this is cool. This is
discuss the ethical and philosophical problems presented, what we know about their way of life, and discuss the ethical and philosophical problems presented to us. Without further ado, let us shed light on the mysteries that shroud this hidden jewel of the Andaman archipelago.
Well, the coast is quite cool, like
North
it's
Sentinel
like it's shaped so quite.
Island has an area of about 60 square kilometers or 23 square miles and is relatively square in shape. It lies around 40 kilometers or 22 miles from the Andaman Islands. These islands are home to various indigenous Negrito peoples such as the Andamanese, the Anj, and the Jawas. They're home to various indigenous Negrito peoples such
They say Negro people?
as the Andamanese, the Anj, and the Jarawa. If you watched my last video, you would know that these people are the direct descendants of some of the first modern humans to enter Southeast Asia.
I just heard about that. They are black-skinned Asians. Like, look, they are supposed to be like Philippines or something, but they've stayed here so long, so they're black and Asian. Like, what the fuck?
Their ancestors have likely been on these islands for over 40,000 years. Though unproven, this is likely also the case for North Sentinel Island. These people have been here far longer than anything resembling civilization was developed. But in this time, the world around them has of course gone through many changes. The nearby Andaman Islands have been devastated by colonization efforts, while North Sentinel was more or less left to themselves. Though considered largely uncontacted, the island does have a detailed history of contact throughout the past centuries. First of all, the Sentinelese have probably interacted with neighboring tribes in the past hundreds or maybe thousands of years. We do know that the neighboring tribes consider them hostile in the modern day, though in the past this may have been different. It is likely that undocumented encounters, perhaps between slavers, pirates, or shipwrecks, have occurred on North Sentinel Island deep into history. The Andaman Islands have been known of for centuries, if not millennia, by mainland cultures, though they were not documented until the 9th century and did not appear on maps until 1574. John Ritchie of the East India Company was the first person to formally describe the island in 1771, though all he said was that he saw the lights of fire on the island. A whole 96 years would pass before any mention of the island would be made. In 1867, an Indian ship named the Nineveh was wrecked by a monsoon on a reef off North Sentinel Island. All of the 86 crew survived.
Yeah, right, wait. I don't know if he's gonna say it or not, but they actually, they already have boats. Like, they have already built boats. It's just that they don't wanna leave. They wanna protect it and they wanna live there until they die. I don't know, I just saw it. They have boats, they have like shit, they fish. Those bow and arrows are spears, maybe, but I think everything is for fishing and hunting and stuff. But it's quite cool. You know, their freaking arrows is like 2 meters long or something. Like, it's insane. Like, they shot it off their boat and he just picked it up and then they hurried the fuck out there. But one person got hit, and then one arrow flew by, landed water. You know, they're long, so like the fish, the arrow go right through them. Then you can just pick it up. It's quite cool, bro.
The devastating event and made it to the beach safely. For 2 entire days, the crew survived on the beach unaware of.
And yes, I have to pause because or else it's gonna get fucking taken down or some shit because YouTube hates me. Even though I just have 6 subscribers, I don't know why.
The hostile islanders. Then on the morning of the 3rd day, they attacked. The captain of the Nineveh was quoted saying they attacked with arrows appeared to be tipped with iron. Fortunately, all of the crew.
Wait, can you see that?
And they attacked with arrows appeared to be tipped with iron.
They're like, I don't think that is 2 meters though, but one kid held the one.
Fortunately, all of the crew was able to retreat to the ship unharmed. They were able to fend off the Sentinelese from their wooden walls with just sticks and stones. Soon after, the Royal Navy arrived and rescued the castaways. It is interesting to mention that even in 1771, the Sentinelese all seem to have had arrows tipped with iron. This may suggest other unknown shipwrecks or perhaps contact with the outside world.
Or it's stone. It's sharp stone or flint. Like, I'm sure they have caves. Like, what?
Due to the expansion
No, I want to try someday. Like, go into the woods and just try to survive for how long I can without anything. Without a phone is going to be really hard. Like, but uh, fun challenge. Why not? You know, there's a guy like I don't know. He does YouTube, glasses, his dad, two kids, but he goes out to the woods sometimes with his son, but like survival videos and shit. It's quite fun to watch.
of
I
British
don't think I'm gonna survive for like 2 days, but let's try it.
India, the Andaman Islands, including North Sentinel Island, was declared part of Britain's colonial holdings. However, this did not affect the island for nearly another century. The Andaman Islands, on the other hand, were not as lucky. The British brought devastating disease and colonization in the mid to late 1800s. Around 50% of the Andamanese would die due to disease and conflict over the following years. Prison labor groups were forced to cut down the jungle and were occasionally attacked by the natives who despised them for obvious reasons. The tension heightened until coming to a fever pitch at the Battle of Aberdeen. Around 1,500 islanders attacked the prison labor.
Wait, what if they just bomb the whole northern Sentinel Island? Like, bomb it. One single bomb wipes out everything. For all these, since day one, since day one, over 2,000 years, gone. Boom. 5 minutes. It's insane. That would be sad, to be honest.
Colony at Aberdeen.
Imagine though.
The British already had word that the attack was coming, and the colony was protected by men with firearms and a British schooner which sat offshore. The devastating firearm and cannon fire quickly sent the islanders running with their bows and spears. Afterward, the Andamanese were compliant and subject to British colonization. They were taught some English and were also used as laborers. Poor homes were built, and many Andamanese slowly perished due to disease and poor nutrition. After a few engagements with other groups from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they were essentially fully controlled by the British, that is except for North Sentinel. In the late 1800s, the British officer, M.V. Portman, was put in charge of the Andaman Islands. Portman was a strange figure with a peculiar interest in Andamanese men. He took many photos of these men in various mock Greek homoerotic compositions. He also had a keen interest in measuring the penises of the Andamanese.
No, I swear, bro was jealous as fuck. Bro was just jealous. Bro, that is weird. Now that is weird. Why the fuck would he be doing that shit? That is... Yeah, I don't know what to say, to be honest.
Perhaps his strange obsessions compelled him to attempt a visit to the still unspoiled North Sentinel Island. Prior to his visit, he mentioned an
Bro wants a black penis, like what the fuck?
instance where one of his men saw people on the shore of North Sentinel. He did not land, but saw 10 men on the beach who were naked, with long hair, and were shooting fish with bows and arrows, he wrote. Other Andamanese islanders said the Sentinelese were not friendly to them because of an inter-island conflict many years ago. This account also tells us that the Sentinelese very likely had a conflict with at least some Andamanese in the recent past.
Bro, people say they are cannibals. I don't know what to believe, but I don't know. They say they are cannibals.
This encounter and Mr. Portman's observations that the Sentinelese
Yeah, to be honest.
were different from nearby island cultures inspired his curiosity. There is a tribe on North Sentinel Island about which very little is known, though it is suspected to be quite a recent offshoot from the Little Andaman people, if indeed all communication between the two islands has actually ceased. In January of 1880, he finally decided to pay the island a visit with a large team of British, Indian, and Burmese convicts, as well as some Andamanese trackers. On his first trip, All he was able to find were abandoned villages, which he then took photos of his trackers as if they lived there. A second trip just a few days later would be disastrous. On his approach, he saw Sentinelese, which quickly retreated into the forest when they saw them coming. Portman and his men continued their trek across the island until they came across the family in a thick forest. A surprised man quickly drew out his bow and a fight broke out. We don't know exactly how this fight played out, but we do know what Portman wrote in his journal. We caught 3 unhurt and brought them on board. The kidnapped group of 6, for some reason this differs from his journal, was then taken to the South Andaman Island capital of Port Blair.
Wait, I just heard of this. They wait, so they saw them run. They boarded. They took how many were they? They took 6. 3 were injured, and they managed to capture 6 people with arrows, bows, and everything, like arrows flying over them. Crazy.
In the interest of science. Upon reaching their first glimpse of civilization, they soon fell ill and the 2 adults died. The 4 children were taken back to their island with a number of gifts. It can be assumed that their highly infectious diseases spread to the others on the island and possibly killed many. After all was said and done, Portman wrote,
Now this is why they are so aggressive. Bro, they kidnapped their people. No shit, they don't want us to go there. They just kidnap them. They got diseases. And they die. And, bro, of course they kill people who try. Have you seen that guy who tried to convert them to Christianity? Like one time he went there, God saved him. God himself saved him by the Bible. They shot a Bible inside of him. Then bro did not take the sign. Bro went back the other day. No, I think 3 days later or something, and then was killed. God gave him a sign. He protected him, and bro just, I'm gonna try again. Like what the fuck? How many chances do you think you get, boy?
This expedition was not a success. We cannot be said to have done anything more than increase the general terror of and hostility to all comers. Later in 1883,
There's where it all started.
Portman visited the island after the eruption of Krakatoa, which he mistook for gunfire on the island. He did not see anyone and placed gifts on the shore before leaving. Later, Portman said that he deeply regretted making contact with the Andamanese because of the harm that it brought to them. This would be the last visit to the island for over a decade. Then in 1896, 3 Indian convicts escaped the penal colony in Fort Blair and made their way in a makeshift raft to any nearby island. A search party later found that 2 drowned in the reef while 1 made it to the beach.
No shit, you escape from, I think it was prison or something, and then you see, bro, these stand here. Bro, what?
He was filled
Run comments, how much money for you to visit this island?
With arrows. This was the last time they were to be bothered for nearly half a century. As some of you may know, I have been learning Italian for a few years, and I can honestly say it is one of the most fulfilling things I have ever done.
Bro, did I ask? How the fuck is this a documentary?
Being able to communicate with someone in an entirely different tongue allows you...
Yes, I know. I want to, but I'm too lazy, so I don't do it. Okay, where were we? Here. Bubble. What the f...
In 1956, the newly
Dueling is free,
formed Indian government officially declared North Sentinel Island as a tribal reserve and prevented anyone from coming within 3 nautical miles. Starting in the 1970s, the Indian government decided to make occasional gift-giving trips to North Sentinel Island in order to befriend the tribe. With the help of anthropologist Trilokant, a team ventured onto the island in search of the Sentinelese, the first to do so in nearly a century. They discovered 18 abandoned huts alongside freshly made fires. They left them coconuts along with metal objects such as pots, hammers, and knives before returning back to their boats. On a subsequent trip, a stone tablet was left on a beach which formally declared it as part of India. A 1974 expedition by filmmakers looking to make friendly contact with a variety of native tribes saw a trip to North Sentinel Island. They brought various modern objects, including cookware and coconuts, to the beach and then waited from their boats for the Sentinelese. The islanders eventually appeared hours later, brandishing their weapons and making threatening gestures towards the outsiders. One Sentinelese shot an arrow quite a
Bro, what? Look at that
towards
pose.
the outsiders.
What the fuck is that pose? Bro, how does he aim? How? What?
One Sentinelese shot an arrow quite a distance and injured the leg of one of the film crew. The man continued to taunt and laughed at his unfortunate victim. The crew continued to watch how the Sentinelese reacted to their gifts. The pig was speared and buried along with some of the other strange gifts such as a doll and a toy car. They were, however, fond of the aluminum pans and coconuts left for them. They eventually retreated into the forest and the expedition...
Wait, so they buried the whole food? Like, they don't want it? I think someone took it though. I think someone tasted it. I'm 100% sure.
Sailed back to harbor. Another trip in the late 70s was accompanied by two Andamanese Anj men. The Anj are a nearby tribe of Negrito people that were thought to be closely related to the Sentinelese. The Anj tried communicating with the Sentinelese, though no communication could be established. The Anj were frightened by the gestures and shouts despite not understanding their exact meaning. It is thought that their languages are not mutually intelligible, and this is to be expected considering their isolation. Subsequent visits continued and typically consisted of gifts being left on shore and onlookers watching the semi-hostile islanders taunt them.
What language does they speak? What if they have been there since day one when God put us on this earth? Oh, damn, on this earth. What language does they speak? Have they developed their own language? Like just they speak, nobody else? Or like what? They ain't African just 'cause they're black, so they don't speak some African language. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they don't even speak. They just make gestures or sounds or scream. I don't know. This is insane.
Sometimes the Sentinelese appeared to make quite friendly gestures, and other times they would quickly take the gifts before firing arrows at the boats. This period of fairly amicable interaction would be interrupted only a decade.
Bro, those dances is insane. Insane. What the hell? And yes, I had to fucking do this shit, so then I take down my video.
After it had begun.
Crazy
During
moves
the
though.
night of August 2nd, 1981, a ship named the Primrose lost control due to severe weather. After hours of violent waves tossing the ship, it became lodged in a coral reef off of North Sentinel Island. The 31 crew had survived the perilous hours and tough waves, but unbeknownst to them, their terror had just begun. The next morning, the captain was relieved to see that the Primrose was in no danger of sinking and that there was no need to even go ashore. That morning, a young crew member noticed small naked men peering out.
No. Look, they say 35 to like 200 people on this earth, but it's like it's quite a big island, and wherever they land, there is people. There is people. I think they are about 2,000. I think, because they need to be like they have settlements around the whole goddamn island and in it and around it and everywhere. Because everywhere they came, like they come some hours out, but I just think they're watching from the woods, to make sure. I don't know, but I think, first of all, I don't think they eat people. Could not. But no, no, they say 35 to 200, bro. I think 2,000, like 1,000 to 2,000, because they are around the whole shit.
at the vessel from shore.
And what? Like 50 people can be around the whole. Come on.
Soon
They've been here since day one too, bro. They have fucked more and brain cells you have in your brain.
after,
They have reproduced.
around 50 men with bows in hand taunting the crew. The true terror began when the islanders started preparing makeshift boats to come to the vessel. Luckily, rough waves and the poor quality of their boats
For some reason, they just know how to make a boat. Just like that. Just like that. They have no boat. They just will build a boat. Like what?
prevented the Sentinelese from getting close, but the weather seemed to be clearing.
Huge
The
ass.
panicked crew gathered whatever
Come on,
weapons they
come on.
had for defense, including a flare gun, a few axes, and pipes. Having survived another day, a Hong Kong shipping company finally
Bro, imagine the terror. You be in this ship and you see you're slowly going towards that island where black men with arrows are shooting at you. Don't mind me, I said black. I mean humans with arrows shooting at you and screaming and laughing and dancing like, I don't know what the fuck they dancing. Bro, I would shit my pants.
received a cable from the ship's captain urgently
Not because of death. Like that arrow is going to hurt like freaking hell. Through your stomach or through your leg or bro, what? How many arrows does it take to kill a human? Like 10, I think. It shoot all in the stomach, like in chest and stomach. Like what? That's gonna hurt. Like, bro, God have put you in hell. Like what?
begging for an airdrop of weapons to fight off their attackers. The fact that they first asked for firearms instead of a rescue is telling of the true nightmare that this must have been.
No, I think they just racist and want to shoot black men. Uh, but no, I would protect myself too. But first, get me the fuck out of there before I start standing there and protecting a ship. Like what the fuck, bro? Get me out of there.
After several delays of failed attempts at rescue, 2 helicopter pilots from a private aviation company
How is it fail attempt? A helicopter, the glass. Of course they can shoot through, but could they shoot through fucking metal with an arrow? I don't think they're that strong, boy. Look at that pose that he is doing when he's shooting, bro. No.
set off for an attempted rescue. Pushing through the treacherous weather, they were just barely able to land on top of the Primrose. The crew
Wait, he landed on the freaking ship?
of 31 was able to be
Skills?
rescued after a total of 3 separate trips in the same day. The ship was now
Imagine being the last one, shit.
abandoned, and all of its cargo was left at the island, awaiting discovery by Mesolithic eyes. One could only imagine how astonishing it would have been for the Sentinelese to come aboard this vessel for the first time. A massive craft full of strange objects. Metal, so precious to the Sentinelese everywhere. Doors on perfect hinges, clear glass windows, a control room full of buttons, a kitchen full of strange...
Yes, the knives, they have taken many of them, and they've created their own too. I've seen and you know, like from like a can or something you throw in the water, like glass bottle or anything. They took that too, and they have taken it, and they have made weapons through with it too. But knives I've seen, I don't know if they're homemade or not, but they're smart. They're smart.
substances. If they had the courage, a dark venture into the belly of the ship.
What the fuck?
The
That is straight off horror movie.
Experience that these people had can only be comparable for a person of the modern world to enter an alien spacecraft. The majority of the things that they would have seen had no comparison to anything known to them. They undoubtedly utilized many of the objects they found on board. The Primrose had about 100 tons of mainly chicken feed. Regardless, we can assume that they also went through some of the crew's quarters and other parts of the ship. It must have been a memorable experience for all involved and likely still talked about today considering the remains still lay where they sat. The wreck of the Primrose was an unexpected event in the island's history, though it did not end badly for either side. Therefore, the Indian government found it appropriate to continue to make gift-giving missions. And on a mission in 1991, there appeared to be a breakthrough. When the officials arrived at North Sentinel, the tribe gestured for them to bring gifts and then, for the first time, approached without their weapons.
No, I think it's this video, I think.
They even waded into the
Wait.
sea toward the boat to collect more coconuts. After throwing coconuts for some time, people from the crew felt safe enough to get.
That little kid have a freaking mustache?
After throwing coconuts
What the hell?
for some time, people from the crew felt safe enough to get out of their boats and directly hand them to these people. Around a month later, another expedition accomplished the same feat, with the islanders once again being friendly. Close-up footage was able to be taken of Sentinelese men
That knife was that I was talking about, and this one.
and women who appear to have graciously accepted their offerings.
God. Look, look, look.
Hilariously,
Look, look, look.
one of the crew members accidentally hit a Sentinelese woman in the back with a coconut.
Bro, fell away, look.
Hilariously, one of the crew members accidentally
Mm.
hit a Sentinelese
Oh shit.
woman in the back with a coconut, which
But no, I think it's why they're all friendly, because they're childs. Like the adults, I think that is one where they are hostile, because the kids. I saw the full video of if they're gonna show it or not, but they like the kids like danced in the woods where they looked at them like, what the fuck?
knocked her to the ground.
Yes, it knocked it to the ground.
However, it seemed clear to both parties that this was merely an accident. Later in this engagement, the Sentinelese began to act differently, and one man even appeared to have made a threatening gesture with his knife. The expedition decided
Wait, I thought it was his penis when I looked at the unblurred video. Like, what?
it would be a good idea to head off, and they did so without incident. After these two peaceful encounters, it was finally deemed safe enough for salvage teams to come scrap the remains of the 16,000-ton tanker. For 2 months, laborers worked at the site of the wreckage about 400 feet away from the coast of the island. Groups of 7 to 10 men worked in shifts of a week, often in close proximity to the curious.
No, I would not step my foot near those people, bro. I'm going to turn my back 1 second. I'm going to fucking look down and see arrow through my freaking stomach, bro. Nah, I'm risking it. I'm risking it.
Sentinelese. Within only a few days, the Sentinelese took their makeshift boats out to
Come on, come on, come on.
investigate what was occurring. The salvage team was not frightened and offered the curious onlookers bananas. Salvage work continued for around a year and a half. The Sentinelese would make occasional visits, even climbing on board and coming within touching distance of the salvage team. Reportedly, they were quite frightened by their blowtorches. The islanders were offered scraps of metal for which they were only really interested in flat pieces rather than rods or tubes. The Sentinelese also appeared very curious of what the team was doing and never appeared hostile. They must have felt quite rich with the new influx of quality metal and other cargo from the ship. Other small fishing boats from Port Blair used to also go to the wreckage to get cargo and scrap, which means that the Sentinelese would have regularly seen modern people and their technology. After most of the valuable parts of the ship were scrapped, the team left. Today, you can still see the gutted remains of the Primrose on Google Earth.
That's
After this
damn. That's for sure.
period, the
Look
island was
at
left
this.
alone
How
for
are they
quite some
running like
time.
this?
It may have been surprising to the Sentinelese that these quite frequent visits had ended. The influx of food and materials from these missions may have also led to the Sentinelese becoming semi-dependent on their visitors. The end of these visits may have upset the Sentinelese. Occasional gift-dropping missions from the Indian government continued for some years, though encounters were not always particularly friendly. At times, the Sentinelese aimed their arrows at the contact team, and once they attacked a wooden boat with their adzes. No one knows why their hostility varied throughout these missions, though it could have been related to the Sentinelese becoming sick due to contact with the outside world. In 1996, the regular gift-dropping missions officially stopped. Many officials were beginning to question the wisdom of attempting to contact a people who were healthy and content and who had been thriving on their own for thousands of years. They certainly did not need the outside world, and neither did the outside world need them.
Bro, look at him. He's just so scared, bro.
Considering that the Andamanese had been devastated by the modern world, it was
Damn.
realized that the same may occur with the Sentinelese if sustained contact occurred. In the following years, only occasional visits were made from a distance, again with a mixed response. After a tsunami in 2004, the Indian government decided to make 2 visits to check up on the island. They attracted international attention when a member of the tribe was photographed on a beach firing arrows at the helicopter which was checking on their welfare. You have to imagine how strange a helicopter would be to see for these people, a machine which could only be comparable to creatures of the sky. More importantly than these headlines, the tribe seemed to be healthy and were not suffering in any way.
Bro, they survived a fucking tsunami. What? Anyways, I gotta go. Thank you for watching, and this is crazy. I'm going to react to more of this because this is so freaking good. Bro, this is so good. See you later. Bye bye.